Hello everyone, welcome to Vishnu IAS. Today we are going to see an important topic from your GS 3 paper. Okay, so that is strategic and non-strategic sectors. What are the strategic and non-strategic sectors of industries? That only we are going to see today. This is from recent current affairs from yesterday's newspaper. Okay, by Vishnu IAS team. Let's see privatization for companies. Okay, so the government is going to come out with the policy on strategic sectors, and also and simultaneously it is going to start up with the process of complete privatization for the companies in the non-strategic sectors also. Already it is going to come out with the policy on strategic sectors. Now they are going to start simultaneously, okay, the process of complete privatization of the companies in the non-strategic sectors. So first let's see what are the strategic and non-strategic sectors of India. Okay, so when we consider an industry as strategic is if it has a large innovative spillovers, that is, it's spread across other areas also. So if it has a large innovative spillovers, and also it should provide a substantial infrastructure that is somewhat good. Okay, it's a substantial infrastructure for other firms in the same or related industries. Okay, it should provide a substantial infrastructure for the same industry or other industries also. Strategic sectors were defined as on the basis of the industrial policy. Okay, the strategic sectors are defined on the basis of the industrial policy. So this industrial policy will keep on changing from time to time. Okay, so now the government have classified the central public sector enterprises, that is CPSE, as a strategic and non-strategic. Okay, it is dividing this CPSE into two. One is strategic, another one is non-strategic. How they are classifying is, the classification is based on the industrial policies which keep on changing from time to time. What is this industrial policy is? It is nothing but this industrial policy is the set of standards and the measures that will be set by the government. For what is the purpose of it is to evaluate the process of manufacturing sector that will ultimately enhance the economic growth and development of the country. Okay, it is just a set of standards and measures set by the government for the enhancement of economic growth and development of the country. So that is the industrial policy which keep on changing from time to time. So the government is classified this central public sector enterprises into two on the basis of this time to time changing industrial policy. Okay, so let's see what are the strategic sector PSUs, public sector undertakings. Okay, so arms and ammunition of defense equipment, defense aircraft and warships, atomic energy, applications of radiation to agriculture, medicine, non-strategic industry, railways. So these are some PSUs which are coming under the strategic sector. That is, the strategic sector includes the banking, insurance, defense and energy. All these are likely to be the part of this strategic sector list. Okay, so banking, insurance, defense, energy are the part of strategic sector. So what are these non-strategic sector? Okay, so what are the non-strategic sectors are? That is all the other PSUs, okay, which are not included the strategic sectors. That is, all other PSU apart from the strategic sectors, all these will fall under the non-strategic sector. Okay, this includes even the power discoms. What is this discom? Discom is the distribution company. So discoms are the companies that are responsible for the distribution of electricity to the consumers. Okay, these do not produce electricity. Actually, what they will do, they will buy the electricity from the producers and they will sell it to the customers. Okay, so these discom are the companies who are responsible for distributing the electricity. Okay, so this is also coming under the non-strategic sector. Okay, next let's see a change in the policy post Atmanirbhar. Okay, what are the changes in the policy after the Atmanirbhar? Already we have done one video on Atmanirbhar. So if you have any doubt, you can just watch that video for the Atmanirbhar. Okay, so under the self-sufficiency move, okay, so the policies which are proposed by the government, so the proposed policy would not notify the list of, it will not give out, or it will not show the list of strategic sectors which require sectors requiring the presence of at least one state owned company, okay, along with the private sector. Okay, so this self-sufficiency and under the self-sufficiency move, so the proposed policy, okay, this will not show up the list of the strategic sectors that is requiring the presence of at least one state owned company along with the private sector. Okay, so that is in all other sectors. Okay, when you take up the all other sectors, so the government, what it is planning is, the government is planning to privatize the public sector enterprises. The government plans to privatize the public sector enterprises depending on the possibility, what if there is any possibility, depending on the possibility, available possibility. So the government is planning to privatize the public sector enterprises, okay, in all other sectors. The number of enterprises in the strategic sectors will be only 1 to 4. Okay, so what this point is telling is, so the number of enterprises in the strategic sectors will be only 1 to 4, and all the others, okay, that will be privatized. Either it will be privatized, or it will be merged, or it will be brought under a holding company structure. Okay, so it either they will so except, okay, that is a number of enterprises in the strategic sectors will be only 1 to 4. Okay, number of enterprises in strategic sector will be only 1 to 4, and the other remaining things, other remaining sectors, other remaining PSUs will be privatized, or it will be merged, or it will be brought under the holding of the company structure. So will this will it help in privatization? Okay, will it help in the privatization? That is, the government has already set and it is starting, it has already started to move the privatization plans for large PSU companies like BPCL, Air India, Container Corporation of India, and Shipping Corporation of India. Okay, already the government has started the privatization plans. Okay, it has already been started. To refer this point, okay, I am putting a hash symbol. To refer this point, you should go through another current affair news which came by the Jan month current affair, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but I probably hope this will be this news will be under either December end or Jan. Okay, so this in that news, we have seen the news, that is, the government has planning to sell the BPCL, Container Corporation of India, and Air India, or everything. It is planning to sell. Okay, so it is going to be get privatized. Okay, such kind of news we have seen. Okay, so the government have already started up in privatization plans for this large PSU companies like BPCL, Air India, Container Corporation of India, and the Shipping Corporation of India. Okay, so by the when you go through the budget 2021, okay, so you will have this point, that is budget 2021, which announced the plans where they mentioned about that the plans, they have mentioned the plans to sell the part of the center stake. Okay, where in budget they plans to sell the part of a center stake in LIC, okay, through an initial public offer. Okay, that is IPO. Okay, they plan to sell the center stake in LIC through a IPO and the sale of equity in the IDBI Bank to private, retail, and institutional investors. Okay, so this was this plan was announced in budget 2020 and 2021. Okay, 2020-21. Okay, next is the emphasis on the privatization could see companies in the chemicals and infrastructure. That is, the emphasis on the privatization, okay, could what it will allow you to, it will allow you to see that companies in the chemicals and the infrastructure space being privatized. Okay, it will be privatized, while the government has stated what has stated is it's intended to reduce the number of state-owned banks. Okay, and it is also mentioned that it is going to reduce the number of state-owned banks also. So when it reduces the number of state-owned banks, what is the possibility? This could see some smaller banks being privatized in due course. Okay, in due course is very soon. Okay. So to recall about the same news regarding this strategic sectors and non-strategic sectors which came earlier of this year, let's recall what about something about the disinvestment. Okay, as I told, the government has planned to sell the Bharat Petroleum Corporation and Container Corporation of India and Air India. Okay, so which came during earlier of this year. Okay, so first we have to see what is disinvestment. Disinvestment means sale or liquidation of assets by the government, usually central and state public sector enterprises, projects and other fixed assets. That is, central and state public sector enterprises or the projects or other fixed assets. Okay, so these will be, okay, which all these will be under the, all these are the assets of the government, right? So disinvestment means sale or liquidation of assets by the government, okay, usually central and state public sector enterprises, projects or other fixed assets. Okay, it is, they are going to sell or liquidate it. Okay, liquidation of assets. Okay, this will be done by the government. So that is disinvestment. Okay, so the government undertakes this disinvestment for what reason? It is to reduce the reduce its fiscal burden. Okay, to reduce its financial burden, or in order to raise money for any specific needs. Okay, such as to bring the revenue shortfall from other regular sources. Okay, so that is the disinvestment. That is why the government undertakes this disinvestment. Okay, so there is another thing is strategic disinvestment. So it is the transfer of the ownership and control of a public sector entity to some other entity. Okay, most probably the some other persons are nothing but they are mostly it is private sector entity only. So it is a transfer of ownership from and transfer of ownership and control of a public sector entity to a private. So that is, unlike the simple disinvestment, strategic disinvestment, strategic sale, which implies it's a kind of privatization. Okay, they are going to privatize it. Okay, so that is just, we are going to just go through few points which will help you to enhance your answers. Okay, so different approaches of disinvestment is minority disinvestment, majority disinvestment and complete privatization. So what is this minority disinvestment is? In this, the government will retain its majority stake in the company. That is, its stake will be greater than 51%, more than 51%, it will hold the stake, government will hold the stake, and remaining will be privatized. So there is a minority disinvestment. So what is majority disinvestment is, in this the government, okay, in which the government after the disinvestment, it will retain only a minority stake in the company. That is, it is going to sell the most of its stake. Okay, so that is this majority disinvestment. Complete privatization is, it is nothing but it is also a part of majority disinvestment, where 100% control of the company will be passed to the buyer. Okay, so that is the different approaches of disinvestment. So what can be concluded is, through the disinvestment is, it needs to be ensured that the privatization, okay, that is the strategic disinvestment, it leads to a greater competition in all cases. Okay, and the strategic sale process, it should be fair, it need to be fair and it should be transparent, so that the minimum reserve price that should do justice to the valuable assets being auctioned. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe our channel, like this video and share it to your friends, and don't forget to join our Telegram channel to get info about the daily current affairs. Thank you.